Welcome to the Drops of Wisdom podcast. Today we're talking about stress, something everyone faces but few of us are truly prepared to manage. We'll explore what stress is, why it affects us, and share some practical tools for coping, including how essential oils can play a supportive role in our wellness routine. We are wellness advocates passionate about natural solutions, and we are excited to welcome you to our podcast. I'm Andy, here with Emily. Hi, Emily. And together we use doTERRA essential oils as one of our key tools alongside other holistic practices to support healing and overall well-being. Essential oils like those from doTERRA offer a range of benefits, from promoting relaxation and restful sleep to supporting emotional balance and a healthy lifestyle when used safely and properly. As we begin, we want to set the tone with a quote that inspires our approach to both stress and life, and I love this quote. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days give experience. Worst days give lessons, and best days give memories. I always tell myself, let the mistakes go and keep the lessons. Isn't that true?
I love that.
I think, and this kind of shows what stress means and letting go of stress, right?
Yeah, I mean, stress is always going to be a part of our lives, and we want that actually. Like some good stress keeps us moving and active in our lives. We need a little bit of that. And then just through being human, we're going to have other stressors that come through too. And having tools in the toolbox to manage and move through and with the stress with more ease is really the key, and where the oils come in beautifully.
I think you made a good point. People always associate stress with something bad, which it really isn't. It's about how we deal with it, right? And how we manage it. How do you, I mean, we live in stressful times, right? It's clear. There's so much going on, and we often don't know how to deal with it. For me right now, it is job related. I'm running in all directions, and sometimes I have to find ways to relax. What kind of stresses do you deal with?
Well, I'm my own business owner, so
that's enough stress right there.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm a multi-passionate, so I have multiple projects going on, and I think that the stresses of an entrepreneur of learning how to be all the things in your business, when really I want to help people with oils and do healing work, but then I've got to learn how to do social media, finances, all of those things. So
and I know you do, you don't just work with oils. You have a lot of training and experience in how to help people emotionally, physically. So how does stress affect a body? I mean, what does it do that's not good, that needs a healing?
Well, everything is energy, right? And emotions are chemical molecules that our body creates and releases. When we go into our nervous system is divided into two sections. We have the parasympathetic nervous system, it's our rest and digest state. Mm-hmm. And in a massage practice or stress management practice, yoga, meditation, we're going into that down regulation of rest and digest. So your breath is deep and flowing evenly, your heart rhythm is coherent, your systems of your body are all communicating with one another, and your hormone balance is in effect. And then when we go into our fight or flight mode or sympathetic nervous system, that's when we've got like spikes of cortisol and adrenaline, which we need a little bit of that to keep us, like if I step off the curb and a car is running by, like I want to be snapped into that fight or flight state, right? But the problem is in our society today is that we create these situations internally that seem as dangerous to our system as stepping off the curb and getting hit by a car. It can be like we're at a traffic light and we get amped up, and then we start releasing these chemicals in the body that over time, if we're in this constant cortisol loop, that starts to be detrimental to our cellular health.
Because the body doesn't know, or the subconscious doesn't know what's real versus what's not real, right?
Yeah.
So if you always are under this emotional stress, the body thinks it's real and it tries to defend itself.
Right. Yeah. And so that becomes we get caught in these stress loops. And so how can we break the loop and break the cycle? I call them pattern interrupts. We can introduce an oil. Smelling an oil is a beautiful way to pause. I've been working with the oils for 10 years, and I really know of no other way to shift your mood and emotion as immediately and effectively as smelling a pure essential oil.
Yeah.
So that's where I really started getting fascinated with the oils and how they can affect our energy and emotional state and balance.
And you introduced me 7, 8 years ago, I forget how long ago, to oils, and I have a whole collection at home. I mean, and many of them I actually don't really know too much about, and I still have a lot to learn how they help. But before we get into the oils, what other techniques are there to relax, to get rid of stress? And I know breathing is one of the things, right?
That's really a key piece that I've been a yoga teacher for over 10 years. So 12 years, 13 years.
Yeah.
And the very first pillar of yoga, the word yoga means to unite or to yoke mind, body, and spirit. And breath is really the first pillar of the yoga practice and becomes the bridge to the bridge that connects the body and the mind. Because really we're meant to be one cohesive unit. We're not separated into parts as we have kind of done to ourselves. Our mind is separate from our body, from our spirit. All of these things are one. And when we can breathe and become present, then we start to merge back into our oneness, if you will. And the oils come into, I know you asked what was the other tool. I keep coming back to them because they're so beautiful in this way. They're just like yoga. They seek to unite mind, body, and soul. And they help us be present, help us connect to our breath more. And if you can remember I remember back when I was a kid, my grandmother would say, if I would get frazzled about something, she'd say, take 10 deep breaths. And I was like, that seems crazy. Exactly. And now I'm like, I wish that I really learned this in school as a young child, like come back to your breath and recalibrate with your breath. Because if you can get your breath deep down into your belly, your diaphragm expands, it draws on the little threads that are connected to your heart. You get a cardiovascular massage, and then your system down regulates. You can think more clearly because you have more oxygen to your brain. Your vagus nerve connects from your brainstem down into your internal organs. It's getting a massage. So the gut-brain connection is really real, and breath can help us really, recalibrate to function more efficiently.
And it calms you down a lot. I remember, I can relate to smell. If I smell a certain odor, it sometimes reminds me of my youth, maybe something I encountered as a child. Grandma's home, you mentioned grandma. My grandma had a very specific smell in her house, which with one oil I experienced it. I forget which one it was, but all of a sudden these pictures come back and these feelings and emotions come back. So the oil can be a support to the breath, right? As a thing, but oils can also be used internally and on the skin, right?
Right. When working with doTERRA, I partnered with them 10 years ago because of their commitment to purity, potency, and a number of their oils are safe for internal use. So we use the oils in 3 ways, aromatically, topically, and internally. And when we use them aromatically, it's exactly what you were talking about, the aroma, just opening up memories to another time and space. The oils are like a portal into really our emotional control center, which is our limbic system. And they do take us back to to those times. So there's research, a lot of research that's been coming out about how they connect us to recollection like that. And then it gets into how they can support healing within like traumatic memories that we have stored in our amygdala and like PTSD. We have direct access to the brain through our olfactory nerve. And so the oils are really powerful tools for shifting our brain.
Yeah. And some of the oils you can ingest and others you can't, right?
Right. So let's just do a little. I have balance oil here, which is a grounding blend. This is one of my favorites for stress management. If you just take a drop. So right here, we're using, this would be topical because it's on the skin. And this bottle tells you how to use it. It says for aromatic or topical use. That's aromatic, just breathing it in. And there's a few things happening here when we pause with the bottle. First of all, anything that causes us to slow down and pause and move a little more slowly in our fast-paced world, we're winning already. And so when we take the bottle, which is it's like an anchor, it's like I see the bottle, I remember, oh, I'm gonna pause. This is a grounding blend. I pick it up, I smell it. So already I'm bringing all of my senses online. And then I have the oil on the skin and I'm rubbing together. Big breath in and big breath out. Maybe I haven't taken a deep breath all day because I've been running around doing all the things. And it's like, this causes me to pause. Then the immediacy of the aroma brings you into the present moment. Like we're all here right now. Don't you feel a little more like present and grounded after smelling that? That's a practice in itself for stress management, stress relief. You can do this at your office when you're having in between meetings, or if you're having a stressful day, set your phone timer for 2 minutes and take a drop and take some breaths and you're completely recalibrated. And that's 2 minutes.
Yeah. And there's two touch points you explained to me once. One is up here, and then there's one inside the ear. So how do you use that, and what kind of oils do you use for that?
Yeah, so I've been studying with a Chinese medicine practitioner named Tiffany Carroll, who created aroma point therapy, and it's working with the essential oils with precision on key acupoints, which are
it's like acupuncture basically.
Points. Yeah. So it's like acupuncture without the needles. We can use the oils as the little activators of the points. And all of these points on the meridians in the body
it seems strange to me, when you think about a needle, because a needle goes in, oil seems to be like just on the surface.
Well, so it's just a different type of activation. So if you think about the oil every essential oil carries an inner nature, an energetic frequency. And so then we can take that onto our fingers, which become like the little activators, join it up to a point and hold very, very lightly. It's a light touch. So you're not doing acupressure.
Right in the middle of the head.
Right? The top of the head is 100 meetings, a point up here that we can use. I like to use like a rosemary on top or a marjoram, tea tree. That will help for just like cleansing, kind of opening up the crown. But I do like wild orange. So there's 2 points in the ears that I like. One is called ear shen men, and I think I have the card. Yeah. See if we can.
Yeah, you showed me it's in that curve and the upper side of the ear, right?
Yeah, so these are a couple of points I use regularly. Actually, we're not going to look at Shenmen. This is the master point, 0 point.
Show it here,
show it there.
In
the middle of the ear.
The one in the middle, yeah.
So there's a ton of acupuncture points along within the ear.
Yeah.
Ear Shenmen is a lovely one, but today we're just going to do a little, just take it to the pinky finger. And ideally you might want to use a little bit of coconut oil with them, but for right now, undiluted. And just pick your pinky.
Why the coconut oil?
Just it helps with a little bit of dilution. It helps for.
Because you could be allergic to it or something.
So oils are 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs.
Yeah.
So you just want to protect the skin.
I can just imagine when I'm in the office like this, what my people are going to say.
So we're holding a really, really light touch on this 0 point. And then you can even close your eyes and take a big breath in. A big breath out. And with this wild orange, we'll have an energy, it's almost like a childlike energy, creativity, abundance. And this 0 point is like a nice little reset point. This will help clarify and sort of like reset your brain, really. And it takes 1 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you can take that aroma and smell it. And
yeah, so what I'm taking away from this conversation is that oil has a frequency. It has an energy, right? And by using it either through olfactory, what do you call it? Yeah, breathing it in, or internally even, or on the skin and there's different points, they can affect your own energy and calm it down. But what's key, I think, is the breathing that goes along with it, right?
Right. I mean, there's kind of a layered effect. If you just stopped and take some deep breaths alone, you're going to feel recalibrated.
Yeah.
But then when you anchor it in with the essential oil, you start to, you're practicing sensory conditioning, really. So you're down regulating your nervous system. We introduce the aromatic compound, which travels to the olfactory system. So we have the scent memory kind of anchored in. So we practice enough, and I practice every single day with the oil. So I've really felt this in my embodied experience, that when you smell the oil again, it's like you've made that imprint in your practice where your nervous system was calm. So you might be driving down the road and maybe you feel a little trigger, or you just smell that same oil that you've been practicing with. There's an imprint that's made on our consciousness, on our energy. And so that's remembered.
Yeah.
And that it's quite phenomenal.
And there's so many oils. You introduced us today to 2 oils. There's hundreds of them, right? Literally, that you can take advantage of. And it takes quite some time to get to know them all.
And that's the thing. Like, I've been working with them for 10 years every single day. So it's like, that's this body of knowledge that I've acquired has been through daily practice. Daily practice and studying, and then also sharing with other people and teaching these classes and answering questions. And it's a never-ending journey because there's so much to learn about the plants, and there's so much emerging research about the plants that we don't even know yet that's backed up with science. But even working with them every day, like anecdotally, I'm like blown away by how they've impacted my life and my evolution, and what I see in the groups that I've been working in too. It's really quite phenomenal.
So, and that's why we're doing this, so we can share with you what's out there, and a lot of people that may be listening have not ever listened to anything or don't know anything about oils. So there's ways we can even bring more information to you. We're planning a class, right? A virtual class that we have set for the May 3rd, 14th.
May 14th, which is a Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And if you are watching this and like, oh, I'm intrigued and I want to know more, or if you are one that values simplicity and efficiency and really like living closer to nature and having products and tools that are quite versatile and supportive, then this class could be for you. It'll be all about essential oils for, call it essential energetics. So we'll get into more of the not only the physical chemistry and practical applications for the oils, but getting to know their inner nature and energetics. So that helps us start to make that connection between the mind and body, our emotions and our physical health. Yeah,
that's good. And it is about repetition, doing it on a regular basis. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I probably have 150 different oils from doTERRA, and I'm learning to use them more on a daily basis. And that's my goal over the next few months, to actually learn more about the oils and use them myself too. For people that want to get some oils to start with, doTERRA has a great essential home kit, I think it's called.
Home essentials. So this would be like what's behind us right here at these top 10 oils. And I always say, this is where I started. If you're getting started and don't know where to start, get the top 10, because you'll have everything you need at your fingertips for anything that arises from digestive issues, respiratory, calming for bug bites, when you have sinus issues or start to get run down, skin irritations, immune support, oral health, glowing skin, head tension, like all of the things that you would run to your local drugstore for, you have at your fingertips. And then the versatility, really, the things you can do with one bottle. I'll give you an example, peppermint, for instance.
I was just going to say, yeah.
No, we can use that for head tension. We can use it for muscle tension. We can use it for digestive tension. We can use it for flavoring your smoothies or your coffee, brownies, so you can cook with it. Then it's also good for an insect repellent. I am of the age where every now and then I get a little bit warm. So this morning I rolled some peppermint on my spine and the back of my neck just to cool my body down a little bit. So
yeah, I use peppermint all the time if I have a tension and I feel a headache coming on. I know a lot of people that say, "Oh, do you have a Tylenol?"
Yeah.
They run around. No, but I have this. And
it's a little learning curve for me when I first got my kit of oils, that I was so habituated to go take an ibuprofen when I had certain things come up, that I just had to remember that, oh yeah, I have the tools now. And just, it's all about like a reformation of habits that just are very supportive and just practice, really. And it is a different paradigm. We're not used to versatility when it comes to the products that we buy off the shelf. They're specialized for one use and that's it. And so you see like a peppermint that's this size, like a 15 milliliter bottle with 250 drops in it. And you're like, why is that $24 or how much ever the peppermint is? But if you look at the list of things you can do and how little you need to do it, then it starts to totally revamp how you approach consumption of anything, really.
I like fennel, and I used to. I have this big water bottle, and at the beginning, I used to put 3 or 4 drops in it.
Yeah,
and I almost died.
Yeah, that's
you only really need 1 drop.
So I always say less is more. This will teach you less is more, and you always start with 1 drop or 2 drops, and then if you need more, you can add.
Right. I learned the hard way, but yeah.
I've heard stories of someone picking up a bottle of On Guard and just putting it under their tongue, and like that's cinnamon in there, that's gonna burn.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to learn that way to know. But the cool thing is they're very safe. Like if you do have, if you put On Guard under your tongue and it burns, it's going to be okay. If you do put on an oil and you have a little skin irritation, I always say test your skin first. You don't want to put on citrus oils on your skin and then go out into the sun. That's like probably the biggest safety thing I would mention. I have a friend that did that the other day. She was like, oh, that won't bother me. Her abdomen was pretty burnt. And so she's like, noted, I now will never do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's okay now, but they're very self-correcting is my point there. And that you can experiment with yourself. Now, if you have like major ailments and are under doctor's care and on a bunch of pharmaceuticals, like I would definitely, talk to your doctor. And we're not here to diagnose or treat any diseases, but we're here to offer support for healthy structure and function of the body.
Perfect. I think for today, this is probably enough information, but we have so much more to share, and we'll have other sessions or episodes coming up where we dive into different topics, how oil and oil-based products, it doesn't have to be just oil, there's other things, great things that we'll share. But in the meantime, we'll have in the comments below, we have a note and links in there for number 1 for the 14th of May for that virtual class, and also a link where you can explore the oils and you could look at the Home
Essentials kit is where I would start for the top 10. But then we can also put a link in there if you do want some more specific guidance. We can help you with that too if there's certain things you're working with. But just come to the virtual class and then you can share and get some real-time guidance there too.
We'll be there also for one-on-one consulting.
Yeah.
So, great. Well, thank you for your attention, Emily. Thank you so much for sharing. and we'll see you soon again.